have left London and are moving into Bexley. These things, I think, it's safe enough to emulate. And we need to bring it back. I think mayors within Accra should travel. And indeed, they always travel for what they call capacity building. I don't know what they see when they have this capacity building. But let's look around you. Nobody's just planked a table anywhere to say they are selling because, or a container or obstructing the pavement. All these capacity building, has it yielded any result, and are we seeing it? I think it's about time, because the world is moving too fast and away from us. And we need to instill this sort of discipline, this sort of culture within us, so that even though there isn't a policeman around, you still live within the law and obey the laws of the land. It is very, very important. We'll show you other sides, which I think is fantastic, but I think this is what I have to say right in front of Westminster House. What amazes me is the sense of order. Straight from Westminster back to Kokomlemle, back to reality. But home, you know what? Home, sweet home. Look, I travel, and sometimes, you know, even though in the height of doom, so you just still can't wait to go back home. There is something here. They say when your umbilical cord is buried somewhere, you just can't seem to leave that land. But today we're going to have a very beautiful conversation with Bishop Samuel Mensah. But Bishop, welcome again.
Thank you very much, Nana.
That was me there getting frustrated in the room. But preliminary comments on our 59th birthday. I mean, what do you think?
Well, by and large, we have come very far as 59 years as a nation. However, we are not too proud. Definitely, I would say we are not too proud of where we are in terms of development, in terms of growth, in terms of human empowerment, in terms of expansion, in terms of, you know, becoming the leader among, you know, the African countries. And it is very sad to see that we live in a nation that is lawless state, disorder, indiscipline in this 21st century. It is extremely worrying.
Are you not being too harsh and overcritical?
I don't think so. Recently, I just returned from Rwanda. And this is a nation that went through genocide in the past since 1993. And it's amazing that just within 20 years, Ghana is literally behind Rwanda. In terms of development, infrastructure, discipline, you know, I got into the airport, my suitcase was they used a rubber to wrap the suitcase. But right inside the airport, the officers were there with the scissors. They said, no polythene bag or rubber goes to the city. So they got it removed. And nobody asked for money. No police officer was asking for anything. You can see that this is a nation that the laws are working. And that is the difference between Rwanda of yesterday and Rwanda of today and that of Ghana. Nothing seems to be working here because we don't have leaders who are literally enforcing the laws and to get things done.
Well, I particularly wanted to talk to Bishop today because of this. A book he's written called Vision, the Fuel That Drives Leaders. Vision, the fuel that drives leaders. And that's why I got you in here today, Bishop, because whatever it is at every given time in Ghana, we've had a leader.
Yeah.
And whether individual or collectively, they should have a vision to take us somewhere. So I want us to go back now to what Nkrumah had. And then dovetail it to, I think, there's a chapter in your book about opposition to visions.
Right.
How to deal with opposition to vision.
Right.
Now, Nkrumah had the vision. And one thing that we always talk, and I've always said that he was too ahead of his time. He was too ahead of his time. He was too ahead of his time. What was his vision, and was it too complicated that we couldn't just buy into it?
Nana, you see, in 1963, Nkrumah made a very strong, fantastic statement in Addis Ababa during the OE. And he was calling for a united Africa, an Africa that will provide quality leadership, an Africa that will provide and improve the lives of the people. Nkrumah had a 7-year plan, development plan. And that gave birth to Akosombo, the motorway, the Tema Industries, and all the things that we experienced. And he was quite focused because it was vision that was literally driving him. Even though, well, he had oppositions here and there, but you could see that the man was a visionary leader. And that was the vision that was literally driving him, because vision over the years has been as a result of, the Greeks today have been where they are as a result of vision. Roman Empire was as a result of vision. United Kingdom conquered the entire world with their language because of the power of vision. The Wright brothers were able to put us on, get a flight in the air because of vision. Steve Jobs today is in the house of everybody, iPad, iPhone, what have you, because of vision. That is the ingredient that literally drives a leader. So Nkrumah came to Ghana with a vision that was to move people from the state that we found ourselves in to a developed nation. And you could see by history, he was literally driving the country.
So why were people not buying into it? I know people thought, look, the motorway is too expensive. Why do you want to put up this? The dam is too expensive. Why do you want to put up this? You are spending too lavishly on, big monuments. Why won't the average Ghanaian be happy that, oh, they're putting up a dam? Good luck. In the future we'll be happy. Why were people angry?
You see, moving vision into a reality will definitely call for education to ensure that you will be able to get people on board, bring people on board the vision. Because for every vision, you will have people who will fight against it, people who will oppose it. But your job as a leader is to tell them, how difficulty the present situation is, and also to inform them how you are taking them to a new level of destiny. So most often you have to paint the reality picture that, look, this is a gloomy area, and then paint a glorious picture of where you want to take them. But in most cases, leaders sometimes find it difficult to get the people on board to drive the vision. That, you see, when it comes to vision, you can't delegate that. It is the leader's responsibility to cast it and keep on repeating and letting people know that, look, we are not comfortable here, but this is where we want to go. And people will always resist change. But as much as possible, make sure you get people on board and drive the vision.
Is it because you think it's too simple? They should know this. I mean, I shouldn't explain this to you. Clearly, you know this is a process. Is that why leaders find it difficult to come to the people to explain to them?
I strongly think that leaders think that just casting the vision or possibly just telling people, look, we are going to convert this area into an industrial facility, and therefore it's going to create jobs for you. People should jump into the back wagon and get excited. No, it doesn't come that way. People will always resist to change. So the job of a leader is to constantly keep casting the vision. In my book, we have what we call the Nehemiah principle. Every 30 days, the leader must repeat the vision of where they are and where they are going, and to ensure that you bring them on board. You know why? Preachers haven't stopped preaching every Sunday because people haven't been totally transformed. And so that is why preachers go back to the pulpit week after week saying the same thing but in a different way. Leaders must keep saying the same thing but in a different way by getting the people from where they are to where they are supposed to be. Unfortunately, leaders think when they cast the vision, people should understand it, and therefore then they go back to sleep. That, for me, has become the major challenge leaders are facing.
Looking at Ghana, I mean, there is, we all think Ghana is a very civilized country. We've grown up thinking, Ghanaians are very special people. But sometimes the reality on the ground does not tally with what we think. Is it that we imagine it to be so, or where's the disconnect coming from?
I think it appears we are a very difficult people. We appear to be very stubborn, but we are very nice. We are sometimes we are described as laid back. We are also very hospitable. But the average Ghanaian can be very stubborn. And that is the nature of human being. But you see, what makes Ghana different from the clip you showed is that over there, laws are working. Over there is somebody at every level making sure and enforcing that laws are being applied. And I keep saying that leadership is not the uniform you wear.